Welcome students. Today I am going to discuss a code vita problem which was asked in contest number 16. I start with the first problem. The problem title is hurdles. I read the problem statement. Given an m by n matrix with a few hurdles arbitrarily placed, calculate the cost of longest possible route from point A to point B within the matrix. Input format. First line contains two numbers delimited by white space where first number m is the number of rows and second number n is the number of columns. Second line contains the number of hurdles h followed by h lines. Each line will contain one hurdle point in the matrix. Third one, next line will contain point A, starting point in the matrix. Next line will contain point B, stop point in the matrix. We have to mention the size of the matrix, and we have to mention where we are having the hurdles, and we have to mention starting point and ending point. The output format will be, output should display the length of a longest route from point A to point B in the matrix. Constraints are, the cost from one person to another person will be 1 unit. Next one, the location once visited in a particular path cannot be visited again. Okay, so we need to maintain whether we have visited a particular cell or not. Third one, a route will only consider adjacent hopes. The route cannot consist of diagonal hopes. Okay, diagonally we can't move. Next one, the position with a hurdle cannot be visited. The position which have hurdle cannot be visited. So that can be represented as 0 here in a matrix. If there is a path, that is mentioned as 1. The values m by n signifies that the matrix consists of rows ranging from 0 to m minus 1 and the columns ranging from 0 to n minus 1. Sixth point, they are telling that the array is starting from 0 to n minus 1. Sixth point, if the destination is not reachable or source or destination overlaps with the hurdles, friend cost us minus 1. Okay. Here the input format will be, they are entering 3 by 10 matrix. The number of hurdles will be 3 here. So we need to mention row value and column value 1 by 2 and 1 by 5 and 1 by 8 cell we have 0. The starting point will be 0, 0 cell and ending point will be 1, 7. So we need to find the longest path. So if you examine the matrix, what will be the output? So the 24 will be printed. Okay, so no other route longer than the possible, okay, longer than the in the matrix. Okay, so the output should be 24. So you consider if you have a matrix like this, you have a matrix, 1 represents there is a path, 0 represents there is no path. For example, we have a matrix like this. Here consider we have starting from here and we need to end with here. So we can move forward to reach destination, but here we have hurdles, so it is not possible. We can move here, but it is not possible here. But if we move here, we can reach a destination which cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total cost is 6. Likewise, we can find the longest path. If there is 0, we can't move further. If there is 1, we can move further. So at every moment, for example, we have a cell like this. if I am in this position, if I wish to move up means, for example, I am ij position. If I wish to move forward means I can increment column value. So I comma j plus 1. Likewise me move. If I move to next column means, if I move to next row means I can mention I plus 1 comma j. Okay, we can diagonally move. If you wish to move up means just go to previous row. So I minus 1 comma j. So we can move diagonally here. So if you wish to move previous column means just mention I comma j minus 1. And you need to check border conditions. You should not reach j should not reach minus 1. I should not reach minus 1. And it's also reach out of the boundary. For example, now you are in ij. If I comma j position reaches n minus 1, that is upper bound of a matrix, means it is not possible to move. That also you have to check. That is why you have defined a function. So for moving forward, backward, upward, downward, we can use this logic. So for keeping track of the maximum length, okay, that you traveled in the matrix, I need to use a max function, that is maximum among two numbers. So which accepts two arguments which is of integer, and you check if a greater than b. A greater than means just return a, otherwise return b. This is maximum among two numbers. This will be used in this program. And we need to check whether we are safe to move further. Okay, if it is safe means, for example, if you are in I comma j position, before getting into this cell, we need to check whether we are safe. Safe means you should not be already visited, and that position, that is future position that we wish to travel, should not have 0. If it is not having 0 means it is safe, otherwise it is not safe. For the purpose, I am just checking whether it is safe or not. Which accepts x coordinate value and y coordinate value, that is I comma j value. If matrix of x, y equal to 0 means it is not safe. Otherwise, if it is already visited means it is not also safe. So if it is not safe means just return 0. If it is safe means this will not come into the if condition, so return 1. Okay. And whether we are going to doing valid operations, for example, we are going to we are moving inside the cell or out of the cells, that you can check by using is valid function which accepts x value and y value, that is ij, row value and column value. If x value, that is row value, less than m means that is negative value. Negative value means, and also y value less than n means that is x value less than m means whether it is inside the boundary. You are checking just whether it is a boundary. For example, if you are having the length of a matrix as n into m means m should be less than x, n should be less than y. Because if it is greater than or equal to means it exceeds the matrix boundary. Okay, just check it. And also x should be greater than or equal to 0 while moving, and y greater than or equal to 0. If you are not checking the condition means it will go to negative value, okay, while traversing negative index, that is -1, -2, like that. So just check if it is, if satisfies the condition means return 1, otherwise return 0. Okay, this is another function. We are making use of this function. and we are using recursive definition, okay, for solving this problem. So my function is find longest path. This is source index value and source I value and j value. For example, user may give source value as 0, 0. Consider and distance is 1, 7 means you have to pass this 0, 0 and distance value 1, 7. This is a maximum distance. Every time we are checking longest path, for suppose we are using max distance variable, which is a pointer variable, and current distance. Currently we are traveling up to how long we are traveled up to now. That is recorded in the distance variable. If matrix of ij equal to 0 means immediately just return, because there is a hurdle. Destination possible, so it just mention return. If destination is found means, for example, while traveling, whenever you reach a destination, there is I should be equal to x and j equal to y. If that the case, just find the maximum among max distance and distance and return to the max distance variable, then return. Otherwise, just mark there is if these two conditions are called base condition. If these two conditions are not satisfied means just set visited of ij current cell I cell and j cell as 1 and check whether we are going to valid path and safe path, okay, to move further. This is for visit into bottom cell. Bottom cells means we are going to next row. Next row means I plus 1 comma j. That is why I mentioned I check before getting into the cell. I just check is valid I plus 1 comma j, okay. And also and also you have to check whether it is safe. So is safe means I plus 1 comma j, okay. So already I explained this. Next bottom cell means I plus 1 comma j. Now you are an I comma j person. You are trying to move I plus 1 comma j person. That is why I have mentioned here person j. If these conditions satisfied, you can move further by passing the. Now you are an I comma j person. Next person we have to move means you can call this same function by passing the I plus 1 comma j and destination should be same. Okay, this is the cell we wish to move, and we can pass maximum distance and this, and you are moving to bottom cell now. Just increment the distance value by 1. Already you have distance which is stored in the distance variable and just increment by 1, okay. Next you are trying to move right cell. Right cell means right side. Next cell means next column. Now you are an I comma j. Next cell means I comma j plus 1 j plus 1. So you just check by passing this value I comma j plus 1 in this valid function is a function, and the same thing I comma j plus 1 x comma y maximum distance with this number. Then if you wish to move off cell mean just pass I minus 1 j and check it is valid and check whether it is safe and move further by recursively calling this function. And if you wish to move left cell means previous column. Previous column means just decrement the j minus 1 and pass to is valid function is safe function and find the longest path by passing the distance plus 1 here. If these conditions, for example, if these conditions are not matched means there is no path. If there is no path in the particular location means just backtrack it by setting the v of ij equal to 0. Here already you have set v of ij equal to 1. If there is a path means you move further. If there is no path means just set v of ij equal to 0. This is one kind of backtracking method, okay. If you are not able to move further means you have to come backtrack and set already this set value. You have set some value for visited of ij, no, that is to be reset. Initially it was set as 1. Now if it is not path, if there is no path available means you have to reset it by setting the value as 0 in the particular location called v visited of I comma j. This is backtracking method, okay. That's all. Next, we just define a main function which accesses number of rows and number of columns, which is mentioned here. And we have to set all the matrix value to 1. Okay. Then you just get number of hurdles value. By using mset function, we can do that. You can set all the matrix values to 1. So next you have to get a number of hurdles. Now it set the particular I comma j location to 0. So you have to get the row index value and column index value, and just set the matrix of source and destination equal to 0. Okay, initially it is set as all set as 1. Now just mention the hurdle itself. Hurdle to 0. Matrix of, for example, I have a matrix like this. I wish to set 1 command 1% to 0. Initially all set as 1. As per my code, all set as 1. Now I set 1 comma 1 to 0. So 1 comma 1 just set to 0. This is hurdle. So there is no path if I choose 1 comma 1. Okay. So that is set here. You have to set all the hurdles and set visited array to 0. Okay. Next, set maximum distance, initial maximum distance to 0. Finally, you have to mention the source and destination. From source, we have to sort and we have to reach destination here. And call find longest path function s1 comma s2 bypassing s1 comma s2 d1 comma d2, and maximum distance initially it was set as 0, and initial distance value 0, because we are starting from source now. We will set as 0 and call this function. After calling this function, just print the maximum distance is stored in the max underscore distance variable and return it. So this function involves backtracking method. Okay, little bit tough. Okay, by practice we can improve to implement this kind of problem. Let's start with next problem. Next problem is Sheldon's Favorite Game. The problem title. The problem statement is Hooper, Leonard, and Penny decide to go for drinks at C's Cake Factory. Sheldon proposes to make a game out of this. Sheldon proposes as follows. To decide amount of beverage they plan to consume, say X, then order a random of different drinks, A, B, C, D, F of quantities, A, B, C, D, E, F respectively. If quantity of any 3 drinks are up to X, then we will have it, else we will return order. There is a sum of 3 numbers should be equal to X, means just return true, otherwise return false. So there are n elements which is input as any array. From that we need to select 3 values. That 3 values should be sum up to X. If it is possible, means just return true, otherwise return false. That's all. This is easy program. So first consider is input format. First value is number of bottles, that is n, corresponding to different beverages and hence their sizes. Next n lines contains a positive integer corresponding to the size of beverages. Last line consists of an integer value denoted by x. Here the size of an array is 6, and we have given 6 elements, 1, 4, 45 and 6, 10, 8. Finally, we have to get 22 out of these values by summing any 3, by taking up any 3 values. So when I take second, fifth and sixth beverages, okay, second value is 4 and fifth value is 10, sixth value is 8. 18 plus 4, 22. So you can make 22, so just return true. Okay, so for efficiently solve this problem, just sort in ascending order, descending order. From that, just pick 3 values and check whether it is possible to attain the some value x. If it is not possible, means return value, return as 0, that is return as false. So this is a function. My entry point for the program. Here I declare variable n for getting the size of an array, I for indexing, and a for storing the set of values, and t min for temporary variable, s min for sum. So sum is used to temporarily store the sum which we performed by selecting the values, and f for flag and j for another indexing. Okay, so scanf statement, and we just get array of an integer and set and get a set of n values and sum. Okay, sum means a last value, this value. After getting array value, just get sum. Then sort by using basic method. Okay, here I am sorting the data by using descending order. If it is greater than ascending order, now I am using descending order. Otherwise, you can use qsort, which is discussed already in previous sessions. If you are trying to minimize the time, use qsort. Okay, so I don't want to discuss again. Use compare function and qsort. Okay, so qsort has only one line of statement. Okay, first argument will be the size of a, that is address of a array. Second argument will be the size of an array. Third argument will be the size of a data type. Fourth argument will be the comparator operator in qsort function. Make use of qsort function. Otherwise, you can just use a basic sorting method. You have to sort in descending order. And after sorting, just use for loop from 0 to n minus 1 and add the select the value in the ith position and sum to some variable. If it reaches yes, means immediately return true and set flag equal to 1. After printing the true, just immediately return. Okay, it will come out of the program. Otherwise, if it is not equal to yes, means it goes to else part. Just check sum greater than yes. If sum greater than yes, means it exceeds the limit. So what you have selected one particular 8% element, but after selecting this, it will exceed the sum. If it exceeds the sum, means just subtract it. Don't select that. That is why I have just mentioned as sum equal to sum minus a of I. So after completing the loop, just check whether flag equal to 0. If flag equal to 0 means it will not enter into this condition. Okay. If it is not if it is entering into this condition, it return true and set as 1. Okay. If flag equal to 0 means just return false. It is not. It means that it is not possible to make a sum. Finally, just return it. This is very easy. Here we do pre-processing called sorting. That is important. Okay. Otherwise, we have to use brute force method. So make use of this kind of logic to solve this problem. In any cases, thank you. We will meet in the next class.